and Robert. That was Phoenix.
Oh, okay, yeah.
His son's got nice hair.
He does, huh? It's always changing. Nice shoes, too. Anyway.
Yeah, sit down.
Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Hey!
So, as you know, this is Robert's day off, and so we're very grateful for him to show up like this. And, oh yeah.
Kurt was coming, but he's a bit. He's got. If you noticed last night on stage, Kurt never took his jacket off. He's actually got really bad bronchitis, so he's having a day.
He's sick.
He's really sick, so he's having a day in bed and not talking to anyone, trying to feel better for tomorrow. So give him a bit of love tomorrow at the show if you're there.
Yeah. I'll speak on behalf of Kurt.
As well.
We've covered quite a lot of ground on the Black Album, and Ross had mentioned on one of the shows that Suicidal were supporting. Was that your earliest sort of introduction to Metallica?
Right, so basically 1993, 1994, Suicidal Tendencies supported Metallica. We came through Europe with Metallica, and we also did the States. And that was my first introduction to massive production. And interesting thing is, in '93 in Europe, we were actually going in sort of back and forth between Metallica and Guns N' Roses. So we would do 2 weeks with Metallica, and then we'd do 2 weeks with Guns N' Roses. And what I found was that our 2 weeks with Metallica were, no disrespect to Guns N' Roses, but man, way better, way funner, better for us, better crowd, everybody, better crowd. It varied, I remember one show, somebody threw a sandwich and it hit me and I got really mad, and then Mike and I went out in the crowd, 40,000 people to try and beat somebody up that we couldn't find. And all of a sudden, we, we're signing autographs, and it's like, wait a minute, we're supposed to be pissed off, So it was weird, there were good days and bad days, but it's always great to do these kind of tours anyway, because you're connecting with new fans. But the Metallica fans were more kind of in our wheelhouse, and but Guns N' Roses was huge back then, so of course we had to take that tour. It was a great experience,
Was that your first time on the big stage?
I mean, consistently, yeah, on a full tour run, stadiums back then. But the weirdest thing, Ross, is now, I mean, like to have a show like last night with that many people, that wasn't happening back then with us, with Metallica. I mean, Metallica's bigger now.
Yeah, it was more like you play a smaller football stadium. There were more, like the Turin one was, I remember the stage pushed halfway down the pitch to fill it up.
Yeah. I remember that show because Ian Ashbury and I, the Colt was on the tour, and we were like best friends on that tour. And we went out and took a soccer ball and started playing, and the security started chasing us because it's like sacrilegious. You can't go on the Turin, World Cup pitch, field, and mess around. It's
I remember the Yankee show, but they went and played a song. Who was that guy retiring on the Yankee Stadium?
Oh, the pitcher. What's that? Exactly.
Yeah, and they came.
Is that Vicky Strait? Come on, man.
Yeah. And we were there, and you were in the corner playing one song, and Lars and I were like, it's just a game around us. It's sort of girls play.
Oh.
And everyone was taking it really seriously, particularly Hetfield, because it was And I went out, and my foot touched the grass, and suddenly I had like 20 security running at me.
Oh yeah.
So I touched the pitch, the diamond or whatever it is.
Yeah, you can't do that. Well, you know, in the States, we grew up playing baseball. You know, I mean, I played baseball.
Rounders.
He calls it rounders, but you know, it's kind of the all-American sport. And so, like for me, for instance, Lars has thrown the first pitch on baseball. It's in these, you know, pro-level baseball games. James has done it. I don't want to do it because I grew up playing this sport, and it's so intense for me that I can't imagine throwing the first pitch. You know, that'd be the most nerve-wracking thing ever in my life. So, rounders or whatever you want to call it, I ain't throwing no first pitches, man.
We're going to skip through a few pictures here.
This is something funny. Luke, my son, said, don't take any pictures of him with a red background. He doesn't like red. Is that because of the Bloods?
Okay, so in Los Angeles, there traditionally, and this is going to sound crazy to you guys, maybe it happens here, there's a gang sort of thing that happens or can happen where there's colors. And for each city, does that happen here where you have cities that have a color? Like on the west side or parts of Los Angeles, it's blue. So Mike has a blue bandana, and then
he's always in blue.
yeah, if you have a red bandana, you can get jumped or killed or shot. It's like, you heard of the band NWA, right? The rap group. It's kind of, it leans in that wheelhouse. We don't want to get into all that. I don't want to break
Yeah,
the
but I remember
game.
Luke said, just show it to him in black and white.
Yeah. Yeah, so with Suicidal Tendencies, there was a following, and the following was very intense, and they were blue bandana, and it's pretty serious. I never got into that stuff, and I don't speak for Mike, you know, I'm not going to speak.
I don't think it's as serious now. It was then when you were younger.
In the 90s, it was, anyone, you know, that was back in the States, or especially in California or Los Angeles, knows that it was a very serious thing back then. And you would go to certain neighborhoods wearing.
Yeah, but I would purposely go out of my way to irritate Mike.
He would do it.
What did he wear the first time you shot him?
He wore a pink T-shirt that said "The Gay Olympics," and he did the first Suicidal Tendencies photo shoot, and I saw this dude, and I'm like, what's he doing? And he kept calling our drummer Poncho, and remember that? R.J. Herrera, yeah, he didn't like that too much. Remember what he said to you? He said he was going to kick your ass, you fucking whiny. That's what he said. Anyway, that's all, you know, it's all peace and love, and that's how we all roll. And this guy right here, he likes to wind us up to get the best shots possible.
Explaining, you do
that's why he's the best.
Every night.
Oh, wow, where's that from?
Download, I think.
Okay, so, anyway, I do a series of lunges, and, you know, we all like to stretch out. We do our own thing before shows, and it almost becomes like a ritual. So, you know, this sort of thing, like check it out. So if I'm doing this, you know, and going down like this, it kind of loosens you up, you know, gets nice and loose. And,
so you get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So there's this, you know, we all have a routine before we go on stage. Kurt actually does yoga. He's very limber. Lars trains every day. I mean, he's been on this workout kick that's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's nuts. Because we were trying to do pictures, and he won't do them because it interferes with his workout.
Yeah, and it's a certain amount of time, and it all happens at, you know, he's looking at the clock. Everything is according to a schedule. He does not stray from that schedule. If he does, he loses his mind.
Yeah, he loses it, he tweaks it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's really,
And James has his, you know, ritual before. So that's part of my ritual right there. Try it. It's good for you.
Download.
Download.
This was the first show without the donut. Oh, wow.
In the mini snake.
Oh yeah, so this show for us, believe it or not, look at all those people. So this was interesting because this was sort of the first time that we stepped away from the 72 season stage, which, as you saw last night, is a beast. This was actually kind of cool because it felt more like a club gig. Can you believe that? It felt more like this was our club gig, right?
116,000
people at a club gig. And the reason is because we're like, oh wow, look, you know, we've got half of a ramp, and we're like, and we felt that it was just more intimate, I guess you could say, and there was something that was really fun about that. And you know, and also this festival here is one where you really kind of reconnect with a lot of your friends and, you know, people you haven't seen in a long time. Like, over the last 25 years, I've done a bit of music here and there with a singer by the name of Benji from a band called Skin Dread. And they were actually playing like kind of one of the other stages. I think they were filling in for Five Finger Death Punch, but I got to see him and his family, his daughters, who I hadn't seen in like 20 years. So these festivals are always kind of fun because you reconnect with people, and also it's a great club gig. You can see. Right. So again, that's, you know, that's a cool shot. Wow, look at that! I got a halo. You know,
yeah. Zach was more interested in the bass. Do you want the yellow bass?
Yeah, yeah. So Zach, my bass tech, he's so passionate about guitar designs and you know, concepts with colors, and he does all of our sort of stage production, and he puts together, like whenever we do something for television, you know, anything like this, he puts the sets together. He's really into the detail of what Metallica is going to look like at that moment, and that bass is all him. I mean, that's the theme of 72 Seasons, and he always surprises me too. It's always like, you know, I got something for you, and then, you know, opens it up, and it's like this gold chrome bass, you know, and he's always blowing my mind.
Last night was the blue bass. When you put that blue bass, he goes, what? And he goes, get the bass.
Yeah.
So I can chase you around.
Right.
This bass.
And there was a woman last night who had actually hair that matched the instrument. So I kind of pointed at her, and I pointed at the bass, and she was like, ah. And blue hair, yeah.
This is Gothenburg last time it first rained, the first gig with rain.
Oh, yeah. So the rain always seems to follow us here. I don't know. Let's not have that happen tomorrow, if you can talk to the rain gods of Finland. Yeah, I mean, it looks, what's that?
It looks like ice.
It does, yeah.
Like an ice skating.
I mean, I'm sure for you, it's pretty cool to have, you know.
Until like you, I have to stand in it.
Right, yeah. I mean, we had a downpour in Munich, and Kirk said it was like taking a shower with your guitar on. That's how intense it was. Yeah.
And I said that was on when Ross goes, I gave up during Puppets, and he went, you left. I said, how do you know I left? He goes, I took my shirt off. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Okay, so what happens here is, on this tour, for some reason, I felt the urge to go down in the crowd, you know, maybe second song or whatever, and just go have fun, you know, go
this is America.
Bop around with them and get in the mix, set it up. So.
Did you crowd surf through the snake pit yesterday?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought I was hallucinating.
No, that was me. I was floating about. Yeah, last night was good. Sometimes it's scary because you have uneven terrain, so you might be like, oh, you know. I mean, I surf and I grew up skateboarding, but yeah, that can get a little scary, especially if they're pushing on the table. It's a table. Basically, it's like a bar table with wheels.
You mean you're
not much bigger than this.
You mean you're not walking on air?
I'm not walking on air, but it's supposed to look like that. That's what we do in Mexico. We walk on air.
Oh, this is a light show. Do you know what song that is?
What's that?
Do you know which song?
Do I know which song?
Anyone know?
Do you know?
Wrong answers only.
You can read the text on the prompter.
You tell us.
Fade to Black. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's Fade to Black.
Wow.
There you go.
Well done.
Could you read it?
See, he knows.
What can I say?
The only other person that would know that is Lars. So.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolfgang.
Oh, Wolfgang, yeah. Wow. Okay, so
Sophie.
So basically, it's like herding cats. Ross is able to pull us all together to take these kind of photos because if you ever know what it's like to round up musicians, it's not easy. It doesn't happen very often. Unless you got like a case of beer, you're not rounding up musicians. But anyway.
What they don't see is the 30 people everyone had with them that's on the behind me.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, put your iPhones down so
Right.
you all look at me.
Yeah, Ross lays down the law, and you know, for every one person there's probably 5 people tagging along.
And also James, I literally took up, went so he said, take a picture of something, we were backstage, and I picked up my iPhone, he goes, dude, you are not taking a picture of me with an iPhone. Get your camera. So it was all shot in film.
What's that?
Ah!
Oh, okay. So, oh, cool. This is the Viper Room in Los Angeles and Hollywood, and this is last year Metallica Takeover weekend, and we had my son's band Otto and James's son Castor right there, right next to Lars, Bastardane, and the two bands basically play on the Saturdays between our Friday and Sunday shows. So it's always a lot of fun having our youth out there representing rock and roll.
Well, we did this in the street, and what you also don't see is there was a couple of hundred people around us, and I remember looking down, there was some guy between my legs.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
There's a lot of people. He's right. I mean, it's Hollywood, so you've got all these people hanging out over here and
I
taking
quite like the vibe of that. I said it's all about the vibe with everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd love to get that photo, Ross. That's
Yeah, I'll make it.
yeah. And by the way, those two.
Someone stole that sticker afterward, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that is so cool. Someone actually stole that. They went back and stole that, like, you know, a couple hours later, and I think I know who did it too.
Oh, is this Munich?
That's Munich, yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah, so that's the downpour I was telling you about that where Kirk said it was like taking a shower. And you know, it was funny because it was fine earlier, and then then all of a sudden you felt a drop, a couple drops, and then the wind started kicking in, and then it just erupted, and then it wasn't fun. You know, I think it was about 5 songs we played.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to stop. I think everyone thought I was going to go for a bit and stop, and it didn't stop.
It just intensified, and it's crazy because I remember when Ozzy used to spray us with those water cannons, and we would get pretty upset about it because what happens is when you spray you with those water cannons, your pickups go out, and all of a sudden you've got a problem because your guitar is not working properly, and then your tech's going to have to go in there and rewire stuff. But these guitars hold up so well now, you know, it's incredible. They're sealed really well. Yeah, so fortunately, we didn't have any problems with our instruments.
The only person who seemed to enjoy that is the drummer.
Yeah.
Didn't he? He actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He actually had a great time. I'm like,
yeah.
He really did.
Well, he did. I think, he
didn't have to move.
Yeah, exactly. Stay in one place.
But it did look quite spectacular with the rain coming off the drum.
Well, when you hit the drum, yeah, it sort of explodes, and it's a photo. What do you call it? A photo moment, or yeah, I don't know what the term is, but the visual effect is quite incredible. Okay, so yeah, so that bass again, that's Zach. That's the sort of the candy apple red. With the gold pickups and all that kind of stuff. So those pickups you see there, I did a thing called Precious Metals. It was I don't know if you saw it. It was kind of a promo short for with EMG pickups. And Les Claypool from Primus also has, the whole theme is that they're metal plated. So mine are black chrome, his are actually gold chrome. And he calls me up and he says, hey, I want to do, they want me to do a 20-minute promo ad.
It's good, that voice.
Well, this is actually Les Claypool talking. And he says, you know, he wants to do this theme where it's like, I'm the bandito, and he's the gold miner, you know, and he's mining for gold, and I'm trying to take his precious metals. It's hilarious, and at the time, it was crazy. I was growing this bandito. I don't know if any of you saw, I had this sort of bandito mustache going on about 3 years ago, and, you know, kind of the bandito. And basically I said, I'm your guy. I've got the mustache growing and everything. So if you get a chance, go on YouTube and check this thing out. It's pretty funny. We even did the, you know, the not subtitles, but when you're doing the voiceover and it's off from the picture. Les is a clever guy, yeah.
Didn't you go to Kirk Hammett party dressed up as a Mexican bandit and he didn't know who you were?
No, I didn't know who he was. So Kirk was the Mexican bandit that I was just telling you that I was playing. I went to a Halloween party at his place in Hawaii, and literally I didn't know it was him. He's like, hey bro, what's up? You know, like that. He's got this handlebar mustache. I don't see the long hair. He's got a bullet belt, you know, kind of like that album cover with Motorhead, you know, with the Mexican blanket kind of stuff going on and all that. And I swear I didn't know it was him, man. I go, hey, what's up, bro? And he's like, and then after I'm looking at him and I go, oh my God, it's Kirk. You know? And it was incredible, yeah. Yeah, he's a master of disguise.
Last night.
Is that last night?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, again, that's me, you know, interacting with my friends. By the way, last night was really great. I gotta tell you, that was a fun show. I mean, you know, every once in a while, every once in a while, you know, all the shows are great, but every once in a while, I don't know, I feel like the stars align and the flow and the rhythm and you know, we're all kind of writing the same way, and even playing a song like Inamorata, which is, you know, not something we do regularly, but we feel the kind of that nervousness, that good nervousness. We're about to do something that, you know, is different and fresh, and it just felt like that type of show last night. It was really cool. Thank you.
Do you notice that song? I noticed.
It's an 11-minute song, yeah.
Yeah, that you all look at your hands.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how it goes.
See, Ross knows what we're dealing with when we're in that moment. But it's good for us, you know, because, you know, you play the same songs over and over and over again, and it's cool, you know, it gets comfortable, but a song like that keeps you on your toes, and it's just so fresh and new. There's a lot of responsibility on that. I mean, 11 minutes is a long time to be in a song. So.
How did you, I don't know what I thought was good last night was the doodle.
Okay, yeah, the doodle. So the duet, as we call it. You know, years ago, Lars was like, you know, I need to rest for like 2.5 minutes or so. You could go there and do something. She's like,
I remember before Laura, Jason used to do the bass solo. I'm like, what the fuck's he doing a bass solo? And I was going, I need to rest.
So I said, okay. And I remember at the time I was, you know, maybe a little upset with it, because I was like, man, okay, all right. So I said, I'll show him. So what we did was we started to look at playing local covers, bands from that country or that city. And in Europe, it started to work really well. And then kind of took it to the next level. I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, we were in the stadiums, and I was like, I'm going to do research. I'm going to find out like who the David Bowie of Moscow is, or who the Frank Sinatra of, you know, Finland is, or you know, or great punk band. I love the punk bands, and I'm going to learn to sing in the language, and so started doing that, and we started to you know, it started to become a really cool thing. At the same time, we also started to prepare songs. Like on this tour, obviously we have a Friday and a Sunday. So the concept is on Friday we do an original that we actually write for the city. And we are literally rehearsing that thing right up until we go on stage. In fact, as we were walking to the stage last night, I was in Kirk's ear, like he's warming up and we're walking to go out, you know, to play for you all. And I'm saying, okay, remember, the second section, we only do two rounds, and then we go heavy 2 rounds. It's okay, bro. And then after your solo, you got to go back to the melody. Okay, bro, I got it. So he's playing, he's walking up, you know, and you know, and literally we're having this conversation as we're walking out to the stage. That's how intense it gets. And last night, yeah, it was the same thing, because you know, we didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare that, and sometimes, I don't know, it's almost like we got lucky, because prior to that, in the tuning room, we were rehearsing it, man, there was some clams. He was clamming hard, man, and I was like, oh, dude. So that's why I was giving him the pep talk before we were going to the stage. And
Focus.
it was a lot of fun, man.
We've got a couple of more minutes.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So every once in a while, oh, see that's Zach in the back. You see that's my guy.
Jeff.
And Jeff, yeah, good old Jeff. Where is he? He's over there. You can't miss him. So funny thing about Jeff is yesterday he was like smiling and laughing the whole show, and I thought he was laughing at me. So I was looking at my backside to see if there was a piece of tape that said "kick me." You know how that happens, or somebody playing a joke on me. But, you know, again, it was just a really fun show, so I think, you know, there were a lot of smiles, and, you know, you can't take that shit personal, you know, it's just like, hey, you're having a good time. You know?
Shows he doesn't trust us.
Yeah, exactly.
As a drummer.
I'm going to skip on a little bit here, just because we're running out of time.
That's in Milan.
Milan.
Yeah.
That's, I was talking about earlier, of getting them all together, and literally isn't, the drummer's always late.
Yeah.
You 3 are early.
Yeah.
And I sort of made him get in, didn't we?
Yeah, only Ross can make that happen, you know. That was yesterday?
No, that one was
had
Munich. That's yesterday.
Right.
That's yesterday. Yeah. And there's the group shot. I said, there's a white wall, get in.
Yeah. So basically that happened right before we were going to walk out to the stage. And again, you know, Lars does come in a little later. The 3 of us.
And manages to pose.
What's that?
He manages to pose, doesn't he?
Oh my God, yeah. Wow. Is that the toothpick pose?
No, mate. Is it a toothpick in? Will he take it? Mate's holding it.
You gotta imagine there's a toothpick there.
I like that picture. Midnight.
Okay, so this happened, this is Milan, and this is right after the show. We did a runner, and Ross had us stop off at the Duomo on the way to the hotel, and we got this shot in. That's why I look a little bit haggard.
You actually were going to do it in a robe or a towel, weren't you?
I was, but then I actually felt that would be disrespectful to the church, so I asked Kirk, before I was going to go out there and do that, I asked Kirk, and Kirk goes, bro, put some clothes on.
Midnight, and here we are.
So,
Yeah.
Casio here is going to take a picture with you guys in the crowd and Robert before he goes. If I could ask you all to stand up but stay where you are, just so that Kaz can get you all in.